Thanks, guys. Joined now by the Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski. And coach, obviously coming off of a disappointing one, but a quick turnaround with a Saturday game, division opponent, the Baltimore Ravens. How does that Saturday kind of affect this week in terms of your preparation to get ready for a game?
So it really takes a day away from your preparation, so you have to accelerate everything that you're doing. So what we do is we move everything up by a day and realize that the players are not ready to practice per se on Tuesday on their body clock. It's Tuesday, that's a hard time to get the guys out there. So we start with a walkthrough on that Tuesday and just really try to stay true to our process, stay true to our meetings, our walkthroughs, those type of things. And then later in the week, now that their bodies are emerging from that Sunday game, that's when you can start to practice and move around.
Because Fridays, they call it a fast Friday and limited, do you try to move that, kind of combine a Friday, Thursday into what would be your Friday practice this week?
A little bit, and I think so much of it is with a Saturday game, you got to be really locked in mentally. There's only so much you can do physically on a short week, and you find this out during Thursday night games where you really do no physical work. It's all mental work. That's a little bit of this. Even though you're losing just one day, you do want to make sure that the guys are locking in mentally while you take something off of them physically.
Does it help that it's a division opponent, somebody that they know our scheme, we know their scheme, we know what they're about in terms of getting that mental preparation?
It does, and second time facing a team, that helps as well. Really on both sides. Both teams benefit from that ability on a short week.
Well, one thing they haven't seen before is Deshaun Watson as the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. Week 2, clearly some progress, some big plays, some beautiful throws. What did you see, and where do you want to see improvement continue?
Yeah, I think you're right. There is progress. We talked about game 1, had to get game 1 out of the way, and for all those reasons of the long layoff and those type of things. So I think he got that out of the way. I think you saw progress. I think you saw really glimpses of some very, very high-level football. Now it's a matter of eliminating some of the mistakes, and which there are always going to be, but kind of cleaning up technique, eliminating a few things, and then really just for us as an offense just to get back to playing efficient, playing in rhythm, and being able to score some points.
Did you feel like as the game progressed he saw it better? Because we always talk when, Jacoby, why is he playing so well? You said he sees it really clearly. And it felt like in the first half, maybe in the cover 0, he missed Amari, maybe on the deep over and that play action shot play. But in the second half, it felt like he saw it better. Did you see that as well?
Yeah, I would say that's true. And again, it just goes back to game reps, and I think that will only improve as the games go on.
All right, what's the challenge with this Ravens defense? They've been lights out since they've acquired Roquan Smith, 2 good corners, a ball-hawking center fielder, and then they got 3 guys on their roster with more than 90 career sacks. Older, but still pretty good. Justin Houston, Calais Campbell, they showed us that last time in week 7.
A very, very balanced attack. You talk about the front that you mentioned, guys that can really rush the passer, good corners, a ball-hawking safety, and I think getting Bowser back from injury, Roquan Smith in the trade, mentioned Marcus Williams coming off of injury, that really allows them to play all their defense. And I think that's what you've seen under a first-time coordinator. You've seen them evolve schematically as the season has worn on.
Some teams bring pressure and they bring nickels. Some teams bring their linebackers. This is the team that doesn't mind sending the linebackers. Queen's been very effective at that. Roquan Smith even has come in and gotten to the quarterback. How does that change what you're trying to do from a protection front, and even when they run blitz like they did last time in the run game?
Yeah, it's a big challenge, and it really challenges your center and your guards when you're having those run-throughs by the linebacker. So it becomes a rules game. There's things that in the run game and in the pass game that you have to account for that run-through. When you're at home, you can time up your cadence a little bit better than on the road, which I thought they did a nice job of last time we played them down there, timing up some of their blitzes. So we have to keep them off balance and also just be aware, because that's a big part of what they do.
From a strategy standpoint overall, I think obviously the mantra here you've said is to be aggressive, and we've seen that early in games against a team like Buffalo, against a team like Cincinnati that you're expecting to score a lot of 7s. You look at these Ravens games, they're pretty low-scoring games. 3 points could be very, very valuable. Does that factor into those kind of 4th and 1, 4th and 2 in their portion of the field decisions?
Yeah, I think all of it factors in. I think who you're playing, whether the type of game you think you're going to get into, it all factors in. When we played Baltimore last time down there, we went for it on 4th and 1 on the first drive, converted, and scored a couple plays later. So it all depends on the game that you're playing, and you got to just make adjustments based on the variables.
And here comes the cold, right? It'd be nice to say we're in domes and we can just throw it around the yard all the time, even though I know we love to run the football, but how do you kind of adjust for that? How does that impact what you want to do? And even how does it impact out here on the practice field when it might be colder than you'd like to have guys out there?
Yeah, it's another variable. Really, it factors into a lot of the decision making. The temperature, the wind, probably more so than the temperature, factors into what it's going to look like. But part of that is you have to get down there on Saturday, get there during pregame, see how the guys are doing so that I can adjust how you call the game.
Coach, thanks so much for the time and best of luck against the Ravens.
Thanks, Nathan.